John was a young man who lived in a small town. He had brown hair and blue eyes. John worked at the local grocery store. He stocked the shelves and helped customers find what they needed. One day, a pretty girl named Sarah came into the store. She had long blonde hair and a nice smile. John thought she was very beautiful. He wanted to talk to her, but he was shy. Sarah walked up and down the aisles. She picked up a few things and put them in her basket. Then she came to the checkout line where John was working. "Did you find everything you needed today?" John asked Sarah. He felt nervous talking to her. "Yes, thank you," Sarah replied. She smiled at John. "I'm new in town. I just moved here." "Welcome to Oakville," said John. "I hope you like it here. Let me know if you need help finding anything in the store." "That's very kind of you," Sarah said. "Maybe you could show me around town sometime and tell me about the best places to go." John's face turned a little red. "Sure, I'd be happy to," he said. "I get off work at 6 o'clock. We could meet up after that if you want." "Sounds great," said Sarah. "I'll meet you out front at 6 o'clock." Sarah paid for her groceries and gave John another smile before she left. John felt excited that he was going to see her again. He had butterflies in his stomach. He couldn't wait for his shift to end. At 6 o'clock, John walked out of the store and found Sarah waiting for him. She looked even prettier than before. The setting sun made her hair shine. "Hey, John," she said brightly. "Ready to show me around?" John nodded, feeling a bit tongue-tied. They started walking down the sidewalk together. John pointed out the library, post office, and town hall. "Over there is the park," John said. "In the summer, they do outdoor movies on Friday nights. It's a lot of fun." "That sounds awesome," said Sarah. "I'll have to check it out sometime. Is there anywhere to get a bite to eat? I'm kind of hungry." "Sure, let's go to Joe's Diner," John suggested. "They have the best burgers and milkshakes in town." John and Sarah walked a few more blocks to a small diner on a corner. The bell on the door jingled as they went inside. They sat down at the counter on red vinyl stools. "Hey, John," called out the man behind the counter. He was wearing a white apron and a paper hat. "The usual for you today." "Not today, Joe," John replied. "I'll have a cheeseburger and a chocolate shake. This is my new friend Sarah. She just moved to town." "Well, hello there, Sarah," said Joe warmly. "Welcome to Oakville. Any friend of John's is a friend of mine. Your first meal is on the house, as a welcome gift." "That's so nice. Thank you," exclaimed Sarah. She turned to John and smiled. "I can tell I'm going to like it here already." John grinned back, feeling happy and hopeful about this new friendship. Maybe Oakville wouldn't feel so small and boring anymore, now that Sarah had arrived. Word count 531. John and Sarah enjoyed their meal at Joe's Diner, chatting and getting to know each other better. As they talked, John learned that Sarah had moved to Oakville to start a new job as a teacher at the elementary school. She loved working with kids and was excited to make a difference in their lives. After they finished eating, John offered to walk Sarah home. She lived in a small apartment complex not far from the diner. As they strolled under the streetlights, Sarah told John about her family back home and her hopes for the future. John found himself hanging on her every word, captivated by her warmth and enthusiasm. When they reached Sarah's building, she turned to John with a smile. "Thanks for the great evening," she said. "I had a really nice time." "Me too," John replied, feeling a blush creep into his cheeks. "Maybe we could do it again sometime." Sarah's smile widened. "I'd like that. Why don't you give me your number and I'll call you?" John fumbled in his pocket for a pen and scrap of paper. He scribbled down his number and handed it to Sarah, their fingers brushing briefly. A tingle raced up his arm at her touch. Over the next few weeks, John and Sarah spent more and more time together. They went on hikes in the woods near town, had picnics in the park, and watched movies at the old theater downtown. With each passing day, John felt himself falling harder for Sarah. She made him laugh, challenged him to try new things, and filled his world with color and excitement. One evening, as they sat on a bench in the park watching the sunset, Sarah turned to John with a serious expression. "I have to tell you something," she said softly. "I'm really glad I met you, John. You're one of the kindest, most caring people I've ever known. And I think I'm falling in love with you." John's heart leaped into his throat. He had been feeling the same way, but had been too afraid to say it. "Sarah," he whispered, taking her hand. "I love you too. I have since the first moment I saw you." Sarah's face broke into a radiant smile. She leaned in and kissed him softly, her lips warm and sweet against his. John wrapped his arms around her and held her close, marveling at the incredible turn his life had taken. As the last light faded from the sky, John and Sarah made their way hand in hand back to town, ready to face whatever the future might hold, together. Word count: 453. Total combined with part 1 to 984. As the weeks passed, John and Sarah's love grew stronger. They spent all their free time together, going on dates and adventures around town. Sarah brought so much joy and excitement to John's life. With her by his side, the future seemed full of possibility. One sunny Saturday, John planned a special surprise for Sarah. He packed a picnic lunch and blindfolded her, leading her carefully to his car. They drove for a while out of town, with Sarah trying to guess where they were going. Finally, John stopped the car and helped Sarah out. "Okay, you can look now," John said, untying her blindfold. Sarah opened her eyes and gasped. They were standing at the edge of a beautiful lake, with clear blue water and trees all around. A small rowboat waited at the shore, a picnic basket sitting inside. "Oh, John, it's wonderful," Sarah exclaimed, hugging him tight. "What a perfect surprise." John grinned, thrilled that she liked it. They climbed into the boat, and he rowed them out to the middle of the tranquil lake. For hours they floated together, eating lunch, talking, and soaking up the warm sun. Sarah trailed her fingers in the cool water, marveling at the lovely day. As evening approached, John rowed back to shore. The sun began to set, painting the sky in pinks and oranges. John took Sarah's hand, his heart full of love and nervousness for what he was about to do. "Sarah, these past few months with you have been the best of my life," he began. "You make me happier than I ever thought I could be. I love you so much." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box, then dropped to one knee. Sarah's hands flew to her mouth, her eyes shining with tears. "Sarah, my love, will you marry me?" John asked, opening the box to reveal a sparkling diamond ring. "Yes," Sarah cried, throwing her arms around him. "Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes." John slipped the ring onto her finger, his own eyes misty with happiness. He stood and pulled Sarah into a passionate kiss, pouring all his love and joy into it. And so John and Sarah began the next chapter of their lives, ready to face whatever challenges and delights the years would bring. They knew that with each other, they could handle anything. Their love was a special gift, a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Hand in hand, hearts full of excitement and hope, they walked into their bright future together, ready for their happily ever after. Words: 433. Total for parts 1 to 3 combined: 1,417 words. The news of John and Sarah's engagement brought great joy to their families and friends. The couple began planning their dream wedding, wanting to celebrate their love surrounded by those dearest to them. Sarah threw herself into the preparations with enthusiasm. She pored over bridal magazines, scouting the perfect dress, flowers, and decorations. John supported her every step of the way, offering his opinions and helping with tasks when asked. Together, they selected a charming little church for the ceremony and a scenic lakeside venue for the reception. As the big day approached, John and Sarah's excitement grew. They counted down the hours until they would officially become husband and wife. When the morning finally arrived, Sarah was a vision of beauty in her flowing white gown, and John was handsome and proud in his tuxedo. Surrounded by joyful friends and family, John and Sarah exchanged heartfelt vows, promising to love and cherish each other always. Tears of happiness glistened in their eyes as they placed the rings on each other's fingers. When the priest pronounced them married, the congregation erupted in cheers. John pulled Sarah close for a tender kiss, sealing their union. At the reception, the newlyweds laughed and danced, cut the cake, and celebrated with their loved ones late into the night. Joy and love filled the air, a perfect beginning to John and Sarah's new life together. Months later, the couple settled into a cozy house on a quiet street, ready to start their family. When Sarah discovered she was pregnant, John whooped with delight, twirling her around the living room. 9 months later, they welcomed a beautiful baby girl, Emily, the greatest blessing of their lives. As the years passed, John and Sarah's family grew, their love and commitment deepening with each passing day. They faced triumphs and challenges together, always drawing strength from one another. Watching their children grow, sharing laughter and tears, John and Sarah built a life more beautiful than anything they had imagined. Through it all, they never forgot that fateful day when Sarah first walked into John's store, changing their lives forever. Their love story, born from a simple hello, had blossomed into a lifetime of happiness. And as they looked into each other's eyes each day, John and Sarah knew they had found their soulmate, their partner for all of life's adventures. Their hearts would be forever entwined, a testament to the power of love and the magic of new beginnings. Word count, 407. Total word count for all 4 parts, 1,824. As the years passed, John and Sarah's love only grew stronger. They faced life's ups and downs together, always supporting each other. Their children, Emily and later her brother Jack, brought them endless joy and pride. John worked hard at the grocery store, eventually becoming the manager. His friendly demeanor and excellent customer service skills made him well-liked by staff and shoppers alike. Sarah thrived as a teacher, inspiring her students and earning the respect of her colleagues. The couple made sure to prioritize their family, setting aside special time together. Friday night became family night, reserved for movies, games, and laughter around the dinner table. Sundays were for picnics in the park or hikes in the nearby hills. John taught the kids to fish. Sarah showed them how to paint and bake cookies. As Emily and Jack grew into teenagers, John and Sarah faced new challenges. They navigated the tricky waters of curfews, dating, and driving lessons. Through it all, they presented a united front, trusting each other's judgment. Even when they disagreed, John and Sarah always treated each other with love and respect, setting a positive example for their children. When Emily left for college, John and Sarah helped her move into the dorm, their hearts bursting with a mix of pride and bittersweet emotion. They knew this was the beginning of a new chapter, for Emily and for them. With the kids growing up, John and Sarah made an effort to spend quality time together, just the two of them. They took dance lessons, went on weekend getaways, and started volunteering at the local animal shelter, finding new ways to connect and give back to their community. As John and Sarah entered their golden years, they looked back on their life together with immense satisfaction. They had built a beautiful family and a strong marriage, weathering storms and celebrating triumphs hand in hand. Their love had deepened and matured over the decades, becoming a steady, unshakable foundation. One evening, as they sat together on the porch swing watching the sunset, John turned to Sarah, his eyes full of tenderness. "I love you more today than I did the day I met you," he said softly. "And that's saying something." Sarah smiled, leaning her head on his shoulder. "I feel the same way," she murmured. "You're my soulmate, my partner, my best friend. I'm so grateful for every day we've had together." They sat in contented silence, the twilight deepening around them. The journey had been long and winding, full of joy, laughter, and a few tears. But through it all, their love had been the guiding light, the steadfast anchor. As they held hands in the gathering dusk, John and Sarah knew that whatever the future held, they would face it together, their hearts forever entwined. Word count, 507. Total word count for all 5 parts, 2,331. As John and Sarah entered their twilight years, their love story took on a new dimension. With their children grown and thriving, the couple found themselves with more free time to enjoy each other's company and pursue shared passions. They traveled the world, exploring exotic locales they had always dreamed of visiting. From the ancient ruins of Greece to the vibrant streets of Rio de Janeiro, John and Sarah soaked up new cultures and experiences, their sense of wonder and curiosity as strong as ever. Back home, they deepened their involvement in the community. Sarah volunteered at the local library, sharing her love of reading with a new generation of children. John joined the town council, working tirelessly to improve the lives of his fellow citizens. Together, they organized fundraisers and events, using their decades of experience and wisdom to make a positive impact. Despite the passing of time, John and Sarah's love remained a shining example to all who knew them. Their children, now with families of their own, often sought their advice and guidance. Emily and Jack marveled at the strength of their parents' bond, hoping to emulate it in their own marriages. Grandchildren brought a new light into John and Sarah's life, filling their home with laughter, sticky fingers, and unconditional love. As they sat side by side in their rocking chairs, hands intertwined, John and Sarah reflected on the incredible journey they had shared. The road hadn't always been smooth. There had been challenges, disagreements, and moments of doubt. But through it all, their commitment to each other never wavered. They had learned to communicate openly, to forgive freely, and to find joy in the simplest of moments. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Sarah turned to John with a contented sigh. "We've had quite a life, haven't we?" she asked, her voice filled with warmth. John nodded, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "We sure have, my love, and I wouldn't change a single moment. Every step of the way, every twist and turn, led us right here, to this beautiful life we've built together." Sarah squeezed his hand, her heart full. "I'm so grateful for you, John. For your love, your unwavering support, your gentle heart. You've made every day an adventure. And you, Sarah, have been my rock, my guiding light. Your love has been the greatest gift of my life." John leaned over, placing a tender kiss on her forehead. As the stars emerged in the inky sky, John and Sarah looked out over the landscape of their life, the tapestry of memories they had woven together. Through laughter and tears, joy and sorrow, they had written a love story for the ages, a testament to the power of devotion, the beauty of partnership, and the enduring nature of true love. Hand in hand, hearts filled with gratitude, they stepped into the next chapter, ready for whatever lay ahead together. Word count, 532. Total word count for all 6 parts, 2,863. As John and Sarah navigated the joys and challenges of their golden years, they found themselves reflecting on the profound impact their love had made, not only on their own lives, but on the lives of those around them. Their enduring devotion served as a beacon of hope and inspiration to their family, friends, and the entire community. The couple's children, Emily and Jack, now successful adults with families of their own, often sought their parents' guidance as they faced the trials and triumphs of marriage and parenthood. John and Sarah's wisdom, gained from decades of shared experiences, provided invaluable support and encouragement. They emphasized the importance of open communication, mutual respect, and unwavering commitment, the cornerstones upon which their own relationship had been built. Beyond their immediate family, John and Sarah's influence extended to the broader community. Their tireless volunteer work and dedication to various charitable causes had a transformative effect on the town they called home. Whether it was organizing fundraisers for the local library, spearheading initiatives to support underprivileged youth, or simply lending a compassionate ear to those in need, John and Sarah's generosity of spirit knew no bounds. As the years passed, The couple's love story became a cherished part of the town's folklore. Young couples looked to them as role models, seeking to emulate the strength and resilience of their relationship. John and Sarah's annual anniversary celebrations became community events, with friends and neighbors gathering to pay tribute to the enduring power of their love. Despite the inevitable challenges that came with aging, John and Sarah faced each new chapter with grace and determination. They adapted to changing circumstances, finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. A quiet cup of tea shared in the morning, a gentle stroll through the park, or a heartfelt conversation with a beloved grandchild. Through it all, their love remained the unshakable foundation upon which their lives were built. In the twilight of their years, John and Sarah's bond only grew stronger. They faced the uncertainties of the future hand in hand, secure in the knowledge that their love could weather any storm. As they sat side by side, their fingers intertwined, they marveled at the extraordinary journey they had shared and the countless lives they had touched along the way. Theirs was a love story that transcended time and circumstance, a testament to the enduring power of devotion, partnership, and the indomitable human spirit. In the tapestry of their community's history, John and Sarah's legacy would forever be woven, a shining example of what true love could achieve. And as they looked to the future, they knew that their story, though nearing its earthly conclusion, would live on, inspiring generations to come to cherish the precious gift of love and to build lives rooted in compassion, resilience, and unwavering commitment. Word count: 498. Total word count for all 7 parts: 3,361. As John and Sarah entered the final chapter of their remarkable journey together, their love story continued to inspire and uplift all those who had the privilege of knowing them. The impact of their unwavering devotion extended far beyond the confines of their personal lives, leaving an indelible mark on the very fabric of their community. In their roles as respected elders, John and Sarah became the embodiment of wisdom and compassion. Their door was always open to those seeking guidance, whether it be a young couple navigating the challenges of marriage or a troubled teen in need of a listening ear. The couple's insights, born from a lifetime of shared experiences, provided a guiding light to countless individuals, helping them to overcome obstacles and forge their own paths to happiness. The legacy of John and Sarah's love extended to the civic sphere as well. Their tireless efforts to improve the lives of their fellow citizens had a transformative effect on the town they called home. Through their leadership and dedication, the couple spearheaded numerous initiatives aimed at fostering a stronger, more vibrant community. From establishing a local youth center to organizing annual charity events, John and Sarah's commitment to the greater good knew no bounds. As the years passed, the couple's love story became a cherished part of the town's collective memory. The tale of their chance meeting at the grocery store and the lifetime of devotion that followed became a source of inspiration for generations. Young couples looked to John and Sarah as shining examples of what true love could achieve, while aspiring leaders sought to emulate their selfless dedication to the community. Despite the challenges that inevitably arose in their twilight years, John and Sarah faced each new hurdle with the same grace and fortitude that had defined their relationship from the very beginning. Their love, tested by time and circumstance, only grew stronger with each passing day. As they sat hand in hand, gazing out at the world they had helped to shape, John and Sarah knew that their legacy would endure long after they were gone. In the end, the story of John and Sarah served as a testament to the transformative power of love. Their journey, spanning decades and touching countless lives, proved that 2 hearts, united in unwavering devotion, could indeed change the world. As the final pages of their earthly chapter drew to a close, John and Sarah's love story stood as a timeless reminder of the beauty and resilience of the human spirit, a shining beacon of hope for all those who would follow in their footsteps. Though their physical presence might fade, the impact of John and Sarah's love would endure, woven into the very fabric of the community they had cherished and the lives they had touched. Theirs was a legacy it would continue to inspire and uplift, a reminder that love, in its purest form, held the power to transform not only individuals but entire generations. And so, as the sun set on their remarkable journey, John and Sarah's love story stood as a testament to the eternal nature of true devotion, a shining example of what two hearts, forever entwined, could achieve. Word count, 586. Total word count for all 8 parts, 3,947.